Hi everyone, and welcome to week 4 of our EdTech course. We're going to go over some things that we're going to be doing this week. Looks like everybody is getting in their assignments from week 3. You should have everything graded from week 2 unless there was an issue, and hopefully we've discussed that. Week 3, it may take me until Friday to get everything graded with your lesson plans. I want to give those my full attention this week, so be patient with that. But we are moving on to week 4, so let's take a look at what we're going to be doing this week. All right, so we have our reading assignment with our chapter names. We're reading Chapter 6, Digital Technologies in the Classroom, and Chapter 11, Audiovisual Technologies. All right, and then we are going to be answering discussion question this week based on what you're reading about the audiovisual technologies. So chapter 11 discusses the use of those in the classroom. Why would a teacher want to use these? What one or ones discussed in the chapter appeal the most to you and why? Usual guidelines apply. First response by Wednesday night and response to 2 peers by Friday night. Okay, and then you have an assignment this week. Last week you had 3 shorter assignments. This week you just have 1 assignment. You're creating an ideal technology classroom PowerPoint. So let me first start off by saying, yes, I know that is the title of the assignment, but if you don't want to use PowerPoint for your presentation, if you want to use Prezi, if you want to use Google Slides, I'm completely fine with that. If you have something else in mind and you're not sure about it, let me know and we can make a decision. So here are your instructions. We're going to take a look at these just so you'll know exactly what to do. So in your presentation, okay, you're going to develop your ideal technology classroom. You're going to assume that money, space, and other considerations are not an obstacle. So obviously we're living in a fantasy world. You may also assume any structure for your class as far as the size and the student composition. If you want to assume that you're only going to have 15 kids in your class, we can all dream, so you go right ahead and do that. Please create a PowerPoint presentation or whatever other presentation you'd like to do that describes your ideal technology classroom, including the following elements. So ideally, each one of these elements should be on at least 1 slide. So you want to describe your class, the grade level, the subject area, how many students, and any other pertinent information. Then you want to list your goals for the use of technology in your teaching. Number 1, what do you hope for your students to be able to do with technology that they could not accomplish without it? What knowledge and skills will you try to develop and enhance for your students by using technology? And please include a slide that lists at least 4 goals for technology use in your classroom. So those are 2 you can think about, and you want to add 2 more, but you want to have 4 goals for technology in your classroom. Then list the hardware you would want to include in your classroom. How many desktops, laptops? Do you want lab gear? Would you want like a microscope that you can hook to your projector? Do you want tablets? You want a smart table? What kind of things are you thinking about? Software that you would want in your classroom, if you you want all of them to have access to Microsoft Office or to be a Google School or whatever. And then you want to provide a slide that shows the layout of your ideal classroom, and you can assume that you will have any space requirements that you think are necessary. So you're going to make your presentation look nice, have animation, graphics, and then the rubric is right down here. And it's also here. And this assignment is worth 30 points. So if you scroll down, if you were using PowerPoint, this little job aid, though, will help you with PowerPoint and creating your classroom layouts, because you'd want to be able to give us a visual representation of what your classroom looks like, and this kind of helps you do that using little squares as desks or pictures. So this is a reason you might want to use PowerPoint, because these instructions are here, but you could always come in and make this slide in PowerPoint, take a screenshot of it and put it in any other presentation tool you want to use, so that's also an option. Alright, so if you have questions about that, please let me know. And that's due on Friday. Then we have some videos and an article right here about using some of these interactive technologies in your classroom, Promethean boards and smart boards, Poll Everywhere, and then just some Web 2.0 tools. So you want to take a look at some of those, and then, or all of those, and then you want to look at this week's blog entry, which is directly related. So after looking at the resources for interactive display technology and Web 2.0 tools used in the classroom, talk about a specific way you would use each one in your classroom. Also, why do you think it's important for teachers to incorporate these resources in their teaching? Do you think it is important? Why or why not? So that's this week's blog post. Okay, and then finally we have lesson plan 2 due this week as well. All right, so this assignment should be submitted in LiveText and Canvas, and right after this recording I'm going to go make sure that that template thing is not checked in LiveText for this lesson plan 2, so we won't have those issues with it not accepting your uploads this week. So you're using desktop applications this time. So for this lesson plan, you'll be asked to develop activities that utilize one or more of the desktop computer applications we've examined: word processors, spreadsheet, concept webbing. That was like what you did with Mind 42, and PowerPoint. You may include other types of technology-related activities as well. You should include a management approach to be used for the lesson, and I gave you some examples of those last week. Examples could include gathering and recording data in a spreadsheet, using a word processor in the writing process, student presentations, etc. One activity should involve some cooperative task or small group work. Here's your instructions, here's your rubric, but here it's also right down here. So you want the description and the title, the grade level and the class profile. I haven't graded your lesson plans this week, but remember that I want to know what grade level, what subject area. Give me some information about the makeup of your classroom, girls versus boys, race, socioeconomic status, etc. At least one net standard and how you're addressing it, one Georgia Performance Standard and how you're addressing that. What is your objective or objectives? What do you want the students to be able to walk away with? What type of assessment are you going to use? Describe your desktop application. Describe how your technology application, what are you going to do with the students? How are they going to use this desktop application? What is your management approach? Form and grammar, all of those things are important. And finally, your small group activity and your large group activity. So there's everything. A lot of this is similar to last week's lesson plan. So as I'm grading these this week and you're getting them back and you have questions, you might can use the information from these for your next lesson plan if you do make a mistake. All right, so that is basically it for week 4. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. I am here to help. I try to get to those emails. I think I woke up in the middle of the night last night and responded to an email at like 1:30 in the morning. So apparently I will respond to emails at any time. So please don't hesitate to email me. And if for some reason I don't respond, within, at least 10 hours, email me again, because something must have happened. I must have missed it in some way. I don't ignore emails, so please don't ever think that's the case. So I hope you guys are having a great weekend and ready to get off to a great start this week. As usual, let me know if you need anything.